to go to your bank, make sure that you are clear how to get your funds to you once you arrive. So if you have your COPR, which is a confirmation of permanent residence for Canada, congratulations. I'm sure that you're super excited to be going on the next adventure with your family. Now, there are a few things you want to consider before embarking on your journey to make sure that your transition is smooth. One of the questions that since we moved, people have asked is, when is the best time to move, right? The right answer will depend on who you are. There are a lot of factors that you need to consider. Generally, it's thought that spring, summer, fall are the best months to move because the weather is nicer. It's a little similar to what you experience back home, so adjusting will be easier for you. Also, winter months, that's from December through January, February, March, are very cold and there's heavy snow and things are a bit slow, especially in December and January when businesses are going on holiday. January and February, sometimes businesses start to recruit, so if you're looking for a job, it might be a good time to come in, but you need to consider the weather, right? Especially if you're coming with kids. Will it be easy to adjust to the cold, especially if you're coming somewhere like northern Alberta, which is extremely cold? It can get to -40, or if you're going to Saskatchewan, it can get really cold, so you need to consider the weather as well, right? And how easy it will be for you to job hunt or house hunt, so you need to consider all these things. And then also during the holiday months, which is January, December to January, you have Service Canada and other government facilities which you would need going on break, right? So when you come in, it might be a bit difficult getting, let's say, your health card and your SIM because most people are on break. So it would be good to come in at a time when all the services are up and running and you have all the things that you need to make your settling in. That all these things. In the spring, right, summer, fall, the weather is better, especially in the summer and fall, and so you are likely to have it easier adjusting to the weather, moving around, especially when you don't have your own car and you have to rely on public transport. I mean, imagine coming in from Ghana or Nigeria and it's in the 30s and you come in it's -40. It's going to be a real shock for you. So these are some things you need to consider before deciding which month to come. But you need to bear in mind that your COPR is valid for a year, right? So after the year has elapsed, you're not going to get a renewal. You have to go back into the express entry system and start the process all over again. So whilst you are thinking about when to land, you need to also bear all this in mind, right? That you need to land as soon as possible to prevent your COPR from elapsing. Otherwise, all the work that you have previously done to get an ITA and then to get your COPR would have been in vain. If coming as soon as possible falls in winter for you and you know that it will be easy for you to adjust, then why not come in as soon as possible, get your family settled and start pursuing your ambitions. Now, before we talk about booking your flight and which city to land in, IRCC is going to send you a follow-up letter to indicate that you are now eligible to apply for pre-arrival services. A lot of people ignore this pre-arrival services, I guess, with the hustle and bustle of trying to relocate and all the things that you're putting together. But pre-arrival services are very important for you. They will help you in settling, right? If you're not able to do the pre-arrival services, you can still do post-arrival services when you come. But when you're in your home country, you have the leisure of taking your time to sample the various programs and to decide which one will be beneficial to you. There are programs that have to do with employment, preparing you for employment, so helping you to align your CV with the Canadian standards, sending you job offers for you to apply to, and so many other things, right? So, and then there are also the ones that deal with if you want to come and start your own business here as an entrepreneur, the ones that deal with settling as a family, finding schools for your children, so many things to make your landing easy. These programs are done virtually, so there are webinars and there are one-on-one consultations. Usually you have the webinars first and then later you book a slot for a one-on-one consultation with a consultant. This program is very important and will give you a head start when you are getting into the system, right? It's for your own education, it's for your own good. You get to learn jargons that are common here and how to even find the school for your kids and all that. So they are very essential. Try and make time and attend some of these programs online. You can apply for them online. I think there's Access, there's the Catholic Services also have their own program, and there are some other ones. So once they send you the letter, you get the link as to where to find these services and then you apply for them. Because when you apply for these services, they will ask to see this letter so that they can actually confirm that indeed you are coming, and then they will book you in. Now let's look at city to London. Of course, we are coming in with a provincial nomination, which is a PNP. You know that you need to arrive in your province, right? The province that selected you. You need to stay there for a while. I think it's about 2 years before you can move to another province of your choice. If you are coming in without the PNP, then you have the choice to choose wherever you want to land. We initially chose Calgary, and then we later changed our mind to Edmonton. So even though Calgary was on our COPR, we landed in Edmonton, right? But you have to keep in mind that wherever you disembark first and go through immigration in Canada, that is where your COPR will be processed for you to have your PR. So let's say, for example, I come to Edmonton, but I land in Toronto and I have to change flights in Toronto. I have to disembark and go through immigration. I will get my PR processed over there in Toronto before I land in Edmonton. This is what you need to know about London city. So if you come to Edmonton and you transit in another city in Canada, so first you are going through immigration, they'll process your PR there for you. But if you're coming directly to the city that you are coming to stay, and that is pretty straightforward, right? Some people choose to book their flights before their passports return. The advantage is that you get to have cheaper flight slots instead of waiting to book a flight that's too close to when your passport came. But the risk also is that if your passport comes later than your book dates, then you have to change dates, and sometimes it's going to cost you extra money, right? So it's up to you to decide what you want to do. So let's take it that your COPR has arrived and now you are ready to book your flight. These are the things that you need to consider when booking your flight. You need to consider the routes, and you need to also consider the number of stops, and of course the cost. Sometimes for families like us, choosing a shorter route may make more sense because you have kids and you don't want them to get too tired when you have to hop around several stops. You may have to disembark and check your luggage in again, and it's a lot of stress. Some of the flights that are cheaper means that you have more stops, so you need to also bear that in mind. We went through Accra to Amsterdam and then straight to Edmonton, so it was a total of 26 hours. You know, relatively it was shorter compared to some of the flights that we were seeing. We came with KLM and it was quite a shorter flight. You also need to consider how much time you have when you're transiting, because even though we had about 6 to 8 hours of transit time, our flight got delayed picking us up from Accra, and then also we had to stop for several hours in France because somebody wasn't feeling well in the airline, and so we just had to transit for 2 hours, right? So imagine if our transit time was 4 hours or 2 hours. By the time we got there, we would have missed our flight. So you need to bear all these things in mind. Don't choose flights that the transit time is too tight. You may find yourself wanting if there's any delay of some sort. So in the midst of all these preparations, there are things that you need to do before you leave your home country. You have to get your medicals done, right? For your family, if there's somebody who wears glasses, you need to go to your optician, get your eyes checked, get additional spectacles, because when you come here, your health card may not be working immediately, and the glasses may not even be covered by the health system, and it's quite expensive here. Make sure you see your optician before coming. You get extra spectacles for whoever wears spectacles in your family. I wear spectacles, my son wears spectacles. You have to get extra pairs of spectacles for everybody, just especially for kids. You know that they can go to school and break them and all that, and you will not have time to book an optician, wait, and then have new glasses. So you need to get all those things done. If you need to go to your dentist and have your teeth cleaned or have any dental procedures done, make sure you have all those done and bring your medical records with you. If you are on any medication, get your refills before you come in. Also ensure that for medications that are not over the counter, if you are, let's say for example, on any antihypertensives or a diabetic, come with a doctor's prescription together with your medication, because if they ask you at the border, they want to see that yes, your doctor actually confirms that you need this medication. That whilst you are here and you are waiting for your health card to start functioning, you will be okay, right? And per the regulations, you can't even bring in more than 90 days supply. They will take it as importation, right? And that's a whole different issue. So make sure you get to your medical refills. Make sure you get first aid for your family. Now let's talk about your SIM cards. For us in Ghana, I was using MTN, so you are able to secure your number for 2 years or 1 year. Make sure you do all that before you arrive. If you are receiving banking alerts on your phone number and do not secure your phone number, make sure that you let your bank know that you are moving, and they should not be sending alerts to your phone number just in case somebody else is using a number. So you need to go to your bank and let them know that you are moving. Ask them what procedures you need to set in place for your funds to be transferred to you once you arrive in Canada, because when you arrive here and you do not have a contact back home, or you do not know how to transfer your funds, you may be found wanting, because we had to sign a few documents to show that indeed we are traveling and that we agree for them to send our funds. So the moment we came here, opened our bank account here, then we sent another letter and then funds were transferred to us. So you have to go to your bank, make sure that you are clear how to get your funds to you once you arrive. If you have any debit cards that are expiring, make sure that you find out if you can get new ones and all that, and come with your debit cards. When you come here and you do not have cash on you, or you need to make some purchases online and do not have your bank cards here yet, you'll be found wanted, because when you come in, you need to set your home up, right? And if you've not opened your bank account yet, how are you going to make all those purchases, especially if they're online and you can't pay with cash? So make sure you bring your bank cards, you go to your bank, let them know that you're coming, what are the processes of getting your funds when you arrive. Okay, make sure you also come with a bank statement just in case you arrive at the border and they want to see that indeed the money that you said you are coming with for your family, you actually have that amount. So these are the things that you need to do with regards to your finances, right? If you have any property that you need to set in order, speak to somebody to take charge of it whilst you are gone, secure anything. If you have land, secure it, before you come. Make sure you've done your due diligence back home before you come. Don't leave your properties and other financial obligations just like that and you come here. Now from here you try to sort them out, it will be quite difficult. So make sure that you set things in order before you leave. Now if you plan to drive here in Canada, or you plan to buy a car, make sure that you come with a driver's license and an extract from whatever licensing authority you have in your home country, because once you arrive, they are going to need that extract plus your driver's license to show that indeed you've been driving back home and you've had no incidents. That's going to make your license exchange easier. Otherwise, you have to wait. For example, in Alberta, you have to go through 3 years before you can get your full driver's license. But if you come with your driver's extract and your driver's license, then you can shorten the process because you already have driving history. So all you need to do is learn the road signs and the laws, right? Do your learner's test and then go for your practical test, and then you get your full license. We in Ghana, we went to the DVLA to get the extracts, and also we came with our driver's license. So I already have a video on how to get your driver's license, especially if you're coming to Alberta, Canada, whether you're coming to Edmonton or Calgary or Lethbridge or Red Deer or any of the cities in Alberta. I did a video on how we got our driver's license, so watch that video. Also, documents that you need to ensure that you are coming with. Make sure you are coming with your COVID-19 vaccination cards, your kids' vaccination history, everybody's birth certificate. Ensure that you are coming with your school certificate. You need to carry all these in your carry-on bag. Do not put them in the luggage that you are checking in, because sometimes flights can misplace your bags and all that, or you arrive and it takes days for your luggage to arrive, and those are essential documents. You may even need them at the port of entry, right? So you need to have them in your carry-on bag. All your certifications, maybe your work history, your work reference letters, all things pertaining to work, pertaining to school, your health. Make sure that you pack them in your carry-on luggage. Do not have them just on your phone, because your phone's battery can die, or you may not have Wi-Fi working when you arrive and you need to show it to an officer, or you need to print it out or use it for something. But once you have the hard copies, they are easy for you to use for anything that you need. You have to ensure that all these things that I've mentioned, you've already set them in place, you are doing them, and you are ready to arrive in Canada and start your new journey. In my next video, I'm going to be talking about what to expect as a new immigrants, when you land at the port of entry, the questions you are going to be asked, the documents you need to have with you, and how to prepare for your landing. I hope you found this video useful. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. To those who may be landing soon, or anybody interested in Canada immigration and life in Canada.